Greetings, I'm Demonac, and it's arena time. Alright, it's time to start another arena run. That last one was pretty awesome, but I actually, in rewatching it, I made a ton of mistakes. It's a miracle I got through. So let's see if we can do this with fewer mistakes. Preferably none, but we know that's not going to happen. So I like both Druid and Paladin. Warlock I play a lot less, especially in Constructed. Seems like a good reason as any to try him out again in the arena. Oh, holy crap. These are all very strong cards. I have an unreasonable, dislike, or not even really dislike, just underappreciation of Twilight Drake. I know that, pros think he's very good, and he ends up being good for the cost most of the time, unless you draw him late game. Doesn't matter, though. Defender of Argus is the clear winner here. He's amazing. It's like a 5/5 for 4, or better. So, Murloc's less amazing. Wolfrider functions as removal. Worgen Infiltrator is one of the best 1-drops for arena play. I'm going to take the Wolfrider. Here's a measure. He does more damage than the 2 life it would cost me to try and draw him using my Warlock ability. Is that a rational way to look at it? No idea. So I can get another Wolf Rider. I like fat stuff. I'm not that fond of the Archmage. I have no idea if I'll get many damaging cards or not. Corruption is interesting because you use it to kill something. Whatever you corruption, it is going to get a chance to attack first. It's not good for removing a taunt creature because you have to just not attack it for 1 turn or something. But it does solve really, really big problems. I think in the end I'm going to take it. There's one thing we learned is, removal wins games. That's for sure. These guys are both, not great, but still fairly solid. But Hellfire is mass removal, which you can't go wrong with. I don't like you, and I really like you. You're one of my favorite 1-drops in the game, so... I guess there are a bunch of better ones, but whatever. You're still a really awesome 1-drop. Cost 1, has taunt, and actually 1/3 is very good stats for a 1-cost creature. Because it does very well against all the other stats you're likely to see for a cost of 1. This guy's pretty good. This is not bad in Arena, but I gotta take Mortal Coil, because used properly, it will draw you a card to replace it, and it's still more removal, even though it's very weak removal. This is interesting. I don't like the Flame Imp that much. He's just not that much better for the 2 damage is really not worth it in most cases. If it were for another class, I would probably take it. And I realize the logic is that as a Warlock, you pay your 2 mana to draw a card, and this is one you're definitely going to be able to cast. But then you're taking, if you paid 2 to draw him, and then you take 2 from playing him, that's a lot of damage for a creature that is fragile and puny. Since Demons is card drawing, right? It's like Arcane Intellect. Yeah, it's like Arcane Intellect. It's pay 3, draw 2 cards. It just happens to be more specific cards. I don't know how many demons I'm going to have. Chances are there are going to be at least 2, and apparently it gives you just I think it just gives you 1/1 garbage imps with no abilities if you run out of demons. I'm not sure about that. That's what I've heard. Blood Imp is pretty okay. I have so many 1-cost cards already. I don't know. I've been gaining respect for these guys. They are pretty annoying because a lot of the reason I didn't like them is because my understanding of how the +1 health would work, which is based on other CCGs where killing the Blood Imp would reduce the health of your other guys by 1. In Hearthstone, the only way that removing a buff can reduce the toughness of a creature, like the hit points it has left, is if that buff was pushing the creature's maximum over its current, if a creature has 3 toughness and then I have a Blood Imp out, so it's up to 4, and then the Blood Imp dies, it goes back to 3. But if the creature has 3 toughness, it's already taken 2 damage, so it's down to... Or it's already taken 3 damage, so it's got 1 hit point left, and that hit point is coming from the Blood Imp, basically. Then the Blood Imp dies, Hearthstone doesn't take away the 1 hit point. So, they actually work out pretty well. I'm very torn. He's okay. He's pretty okay. This should be more... I'm going to take the Sense Demons because it's more card drawing. I'll make sure I get some demons later. This, I think I have to take as well, because this is removal, and then if I have demons, it's good. I'm going to have to get some demons. I'm missing out on the Boulder Fist Ogre, but I can't turn down good removal like that. Like, that's an awesome card. You guys are not too great, so it's easy to take the removal. I need to get more actual creatures, that's for sure. Don't like you. I do like you. You're a very cool guy, but your Knife Juggler is no contest. Knife Juggler, we all know he's a death machine. Okay, this time, I've already got a remarkable amount of removal based on how many cards I have. Corruption is also not the best removal. It's, yeah. Scarlet Crusader's pretty good. I'm going to take the Succubus because she's pretty fat for the cost. Losing a card is horrible, but she's fat. Tempted to take another Succubus, but Murloc Hunter is also very good. It gives you 2 targets for the price of 1, and Shattered Sudden Cleric is considered by many people to be the best creature in the game. I don't know about that, but 3/3 for 3 is already quite good, and then her ability is amazing and flexible. So, yeah, Shattered Sun it is. This is tough. I think Bluegill Warrior is probably better removal than the Corruption. You can make an argument for Abusive Sergeant also being pretty decent removal, but no, I'm going to go with the Bluegill. Comes out, kills something, doesn't rely on anyone else. So I don't have that much taunt yet, and this guy can really send, like, I kind of like him in the arena because he's so tough. Still does a little damage. Swamp Ooze is amazing if your opponent has weapons, and he's fine if they don't. 3/2 for 2 is still perfectly fine. Stormwind Champion is fat, and fat often wins games. Because, like, I hate turning down either of these guys. I was going to say I take him because I don't have any real fat yet, right? And he is pretty good. On the other hand, I'm a Warlock. 2-cost stuff is very good because if I draw it, I can probably play it in the same turn using my extra card drawing. No, I'm going to take the fat one. I'm going to regret it, but I'm going to take it because I haven't seen that much fat yet. You're pretty okay. Like, you're actually one of my favorite 2-drops in a way, but it works so much better if you have a priest or a mage, someone whose class power interacts with him. Don't like you. I'm going to take the Loot Hoarder because he's more card drawing, even though I'm probably going to deck death myself or something. If the game lasts long enough for me to get deck death, then so be it. I hate you, you're a bad card, go to hell. You're pretty good, but I just got one of you, and you're a Spellbreaker who is pretty decent stats for the cost, and Silence is very strong, so taking him for sure. This is tough. You guys are both really good demons. Your removal, how many spells do I have now? 1, 2, 3. It says demons is sort of a spell, but 4, 5. My deck is 1/3 removal. I'm actually okay keeping it 1/3 removal. I hate to turn down these guys. I hope it gives me more of them, but no, I'm going to take the Drain Life. Kills something and keeps me in the game. Again, these guys are all very hard. It's likely to take 2 shots to kill her. This is 2 creatures, effectively, and he's fat and tough. Again, I don't have anything that interacts with him that makes him better, so I'm less likely to take him than I normally would be. Excuse me. I'm going to take the Scarlet Crusader. I don't give her enough love. I have so much removal, I don't think I'm going to take the Soulfire. I think I'm going to take another Spellbreaker instead. Because, again, this is card disadvantage, and yeah. It is actually pretty good, but I can actually afford to take something else that I like. I need bigger creatures, and I don't need that. Okay. You I don't like. You are really weird. It's a 3/5 taunt, so it's Ascension Shield Master. It costs 1 less, but permanently destroys one of your mana crystals. Boy, when you put it like that, he does sound like a piece of junk. Thing is, if the game goes long, you get that mana crystal back, because it still gives you a mana crystal every turn until you hit the maximum. You're going to hit the maximum 1 turn later. If you're going second, you could coin him out second turn and then be behind another mana for the rest of the game. It seems awful. I don't really like him. This guy is not, like, gigantic. He's not that impressive, but he's efficient. I'm going to take him. Sergeant is super good. I've got a lot of cheap stuff, but again, I'm a Warlock. I'm going to be drawing extra cards. That might be good. River Croc, 2/3 is the kind of the stats you want for 2 mana, but it's just a croc. It doesn't do anything. The Nightblade helped burn down my opponent, but she's not that fat for the cost. And her ability doesn't impact the battlefield, although burning down the opponent is good. I'm going to take the Abusive Sergeant. You're starting to look more tempting, as I have a lot of spells that do have spell power, and I don't have a lot of fat things, but I'm going to hope I get some other fat stuff. Shadowbolt, very strong. I'll take that. I don't like you. It's really determined to give me you. I don't have that much 3 and 4 cost stuff, do I? I've got some. You're pretty good. I just really don't like the Corehound. He's so fragile for 7 mana. That 5 health doesn't go very far. You know what? I'm going to take the Archmage. Give Nightcrawler a chance. Okay, you are super, super good. You are looking a lot more like a flat 2 damage card in my deck, because I do not have that many demons. I have hardly any. Which is okay, because a flat 2 damage card is pretty good. I could use more taunt, but I'm not seriously considering him. I think, actually, I have enough removal. I'm going to take the Harvest Golem, because he is very good. He's 2 creatures for the price of 1. You can't even kill them both with 1 AoE. Corruption, not the power card I'm looking for. So we've got this guy who becomes very powerful with Enrage, but it's hard to... I don't have a way to manipulate that. I'm better off with the Taunt guy. He's only a 2/3 Taunt, but Taunt is Taunt, right? And anything that doesn't kill him makes him, like, a brutal attacker. You're a crummy Murloc. You're weak. I'm taking another Demon Fire then. And... I only did end up taking 2 of the Demon Fires, so I don't... How much do I need demons? Like... I'm not going to have many demons to pull with this thing. But I'm looking at, like, Succubus is good, but I don't have that much taunt. I'm better off with probably either of these guys, but especially him because I need more fatness. And she's fat. Very fat for the cost, but negative card advantage, and... I think I'm going to take the Bodyguard. Wow, it's giving me... I don't think I'm taking the Occult Master. I think I've got enough card drawing with my Warlockness. Could be horribly wrong, but I've got Warlockness, I've got Mortal Coil, a Loot Hoarder, and Sense Demons, if that even counts that much. Not that much actual other card drawing. Yeah, so I could do with more. You hurt me card-wise. You know what? I'm rarely going to be unhappy if I, like, draw a card, and the card I draw is an Ironbeak Owl. And again, it's more silence. I'm going to have a ton of silence in my deck. I'm going to go with him. It's going to be a little bit more weenie-ish, which works okay with the Warlock. This is tough. I mean, you're kind of removal, and you fit with that cheapness. You're definitely removal. and can burn down my opponent. That would be 3 Shadow Bolts. I don't have a lot of spell power, though. You know what? I'm going to take the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, because he's... I actually do have a lot of 3-cost cards. You know what? I'm going to take the Shadow Bolt. It's going to kill something. That may or may not be a good idea. And we've got a legendary. Now, Millhouse Manastorm is out. He's like Captain Suicide. You play him, yeah, he's a cheap 4/4, but your opponent can play every spell in their hand for free. If they might not have many spells in their hand, or they may not have any, but no, it's not worth it. You can just get exploded. Jaraxxus... Man, Warlock is like the deck for Jaraxxus, because Warlock tends to get low early on. And when you play him, like, he has 15 health, that's because he's replacing my health. If I'm at 5 health and I play this guy, I go up to 15. If I was at 30 health and I play this guy, I would go down to 15. But you just wouldn't play him. Especially since he costs 9. By the time you have 9 mana as a Warlock, you probably don't have that much health. So he gains you health, and he has an attack of 3. My understanding is that you don't need a weapon to attack for 3 as if you had a weapon. Unlimited uses, right? That's what I think he does. On the other hand, this guy is also super good. Like, he's not necessarily game-winning strong, but a 4/5 for 6, not great, but the death rattle is he gets like he basically clones himself on death. So he's hard to get rid of. I'm going to take Jaraxxus for the cool factor. It's probably dumb, but, you know, some game I've whipped this out is going to, like, freak my opponent out, if nothing else. I don't know how I feel about this deck. It's going to take more time to absorb it. I'm not going to sit around and calculate. I'm going to try and get into a game so you can see what happens. Looking for an opponent here. I don't know if you noticed, like, this is late in Movember. Since I have a mustache year-round, I mostly let it get out of control, and I just haven't been shaving or trimming or anything. So I've got way more of a big porn stash thing going on than I normally do. And I've also got sort of these Movember, like, mutton chops or whatever the hell this is coming in there. So those are going away as soon as the month ends. I almost got to play a brand new player. And it's a mirror match up front. I don't know what it is. In competitive games, I tend to hate mirror match, which probably says that I'm not that confident in my abilities or something. I don't know, but I don't like those. I'm getting rid of you because you're expensive. I have so much cheap stuff in my deck, I'm going to get rid of the Defender of Argus. Like, the only creature I have already has Taunt. He's better later in the game, I think. So I'm going to try that and probably regret it. No, I'm not going to regret it. That is, like, way better. Going second, Power. Because now I've got all these options. If he worked on himself, I would coin him out, but he doesn't, so that would be kind of silly. We'll just play the obvious thing, the Voidwalker, who is strong. Voidwalker, then this guy, that's pretty good. We'll see what happens. I'm sure my opponent will have something to say about it, but... Direwolf Alpha, okay. So, I could coin out the Shattered Sun Cleric, kill the wolf. My guy would be left as a 2/2 with Taunt. I could hit the wolf, Mortal Coil him, which would kill him, draw me a card, but then I would have to use the coin to play anything else. So if I coined out this guy, which would be the only other choice I'd have, unless I drew something better, then I would be left with, this would be 1/1, and I'd be left with a 2/1. Probably better off saving the Mortal Coil. You know what? The Shattered Sun seems like the play here. I mean, it'd be nice to just put out the Smith and let him do his thing, but then the wolf would be alive, and that's definitely less advantageous than this version where the wolf is not alive. We're not playing Schrodinger's wolf here. It's dead, it's dead. What do you got for me? Blood Imp? Okay. What do you really have? Draw a card. If he just draws a card, he's not in a good place. No, okay, he's gonna kill that. Fair enough. I can't target that because of stealth, so that doesn't work. I could draw 2 demons with this, but I mean, I've got stuff to play in my hand. I'm better off playing things. So I guess I'm going to hit him for 3. And I'm going to play the Scarlet Crusader, actually. I was tempted to play the Harvest Moon. I'm going to play her. I do want to get out the Swordsmith soon, but I got to do it sometime when it's making a more efficient use of my mana. If I could have targeted him with the Mortal Coil, then I would have been thrilled. Or like coil him, draw a card, and then play the Smith. But it didn't work because he's stealth, and he's probably not attacking anytime soon because he's, again, because of the way the health buff works, he is actually very strong. It's like he's closer to D&D style temporary hit points where they come off first. He can be targeted with battle cries. My opponent left? Really? Can he come back? I don't know. I guess I'll just start beating his brains in. That's really going to make a crappy video. Oh, I can't target him with the battle cry. Aw. Okay, I'll just do that. I don't know, it just blew him up. In non-arena games, I've seen them stick around. Now I'm annoyed because I was doing okay. I wanted to see how that was going to end up. But, no, my opponent just disappeared. Well, I guess I'm going to end the video here anyway because I already get confused sometimes of when to cut them. So, I will see you next time. If you like this, please click the eponymous button. And don't forget to subscribe to Demonac Games for more Hearthstone Arena and Scrolls Judgment videos.